Why are you whistle breathing?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I've never done that before.
So,
well, all right. Before we, I guess, get any further down a rabbit hole, we should do what we normally do, which is, bro. I didn't even say the line.
I thought somebody running the house.
Oh, yeah.
I know where he's going.
Alan's like, let's get this shit over with.
Anyways.
Okay, what's happening?
We're live.
Oh, no.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Iron Palace Podcast, the world's most anabolic podcast that has better form than your gym nemesis and more gains than your last bulk.
All right.
What in the world were you just doing?
Oh, scratching?
Yeah, but you did the...
That was Mike.
Yeah, that wasn't me. I had my mic.
Oh, man.
That was Courtney.
That was,
I put the two things together and it freaked me out.
He's still...
It was like...
Yeah, I was
He's
like...
still coming down. He's still coming down. So everybody out there will never find out what Holland's all itchy about today. So
Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Tune into our social media.
don't you got like a secret Patreon one? That
Yeah.
Only the true
back, yeah.
Only the true fans know about that. Yeah. That's the podcast after dark.
yeah.
That's what happens when all the candles are blown out in the palace.
I just noticed he's got a Bob Ross.
Yeah. He's got a Bob Ross. Yeah.
That is Bob Ross.
Yeah.
That's Highland Ross.
Holland Ross.
Yeah, that's what he was for. That's what he was for Halloween.
Yeah. Bob Rogue.
Bob Rogue?
Yeah. Like Rogue Fitness. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Could be.
Yet, if they played their cards right.
You know, I wouldn't say no.
Yeah. So, what is this? Day 2
This is day 2.
at the Arnold.
Day 2 of the Arnold. And I know what you're all thinking, because we talked about it before this, is Nathan's back. I know.
They get sick of it.
Oh, I thought they were thinking. I was like, he asked,
Yeah.
but we told Arnold he just wasn't the right speed for our show.
Yeah, he was busy with the Young LA tent. We said, you know what, Arnold, it's fine.
Yeah. We'd rather have Nathan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was almost busy with it because I'm in with the cool crowd.
Yeah,
He
brah.
is.
Yeah, no sense.
So
No sus.
So all the other times we've had Nathan on, I don't really know what we talked about because I can't remember. But this time we have some pretty cool stuff to talk about because this is your second year competing in World's Strongest Firefighter at the Arnold.
Yep. Second time coming 20th, too.
I don't,
Out of
And it's what, the 20th anniversary?
Probably.
but I mean, it's not like it's out of 20 though, right?
No.
There's a bunch of you.
There's a few of us.
more than 20?
Yeah.
Okay.
More than
If you
20.
don't finish last, that's all that matters.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's right.
And so every year I do a little bit better. I just got to get some training equipment. I got some guys hopefully back home kind of go in and
So the wood stove doesn't exactly match the
It helped.
sandbag. I mean, it definitely helps buld strength, but would it,
I
does it
had no
match?
problem snatching that bag off the ground.
And you had told
What
us
did you have a problem with?
you told us that they
landing.
had changed it like
The landing.
So we'll get to
It's
that.
not the picking up.
We will get to that. But you told us that they changed the event the day before. What was it originally supposed to be?
So it's the same event. They just went from like the metal coffin.
Oh, so it was going to be like a loadable Husafell.
Yeah. So they went with the bag one.
I don't know that would be easier or harder.
Well, and so the bottom bends. Mm-hmm. So when you're trying to set it or reset it, and you push it against your legs, where a metal one would go up,
Yeah.
the bag sometimes just bends at the bottom.
I think they
I noticed that.
each have their pros and cons. Like
Throws your balance off.
Yeah, they do because
the steel one hurts.
Yeah, if you fail with that,
Oh, if you fell with that, that would have been game over, buddy.
for a normal man,
Might have done more than squeaked.
sound like what is it? Wheezy. Yeah, the penguin.
I'd have done more than school.
Got up and Have you seen that the camel that's on a video and somebody's petting it and it's moaning? I don't know if you guys.
I don't think me and you watch the same videos.
You guys don't get the same real pulls I do. I can see that. All right.
You're talking about David's algorithm.
Yeah, I'm on. David would know.
I guarantee David saw that video.
Yeah.
Oh, David's going to watch this
We're on the same
episode
one,
and
yeah.
say, "Oh yeah, I've seen that one."
He knows. He knows what that is. Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, the camel moan. So you let out a camel moan.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Yeah, I did.
so what was the first event,
Log press.
and how did that go?
Well, so they had a 250-pound log, and we used to have a log at one gym that we went to. I don't remember what it's called.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Are you talking? Yeah, never mind. I was about to say the name, but not a sponsor.
They're all a little bit different. I think the one I used had a wider grip. So this is the Rogue one. I think it's a little deeper too.
Or even Rogue has like 3 different, and it's like 3 different diameters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could have been any of them.
So I would like to get better at push pressing or jerking. Everything I do is just press.
Huh?
So I practiced a little bit. That's not enough. And I was like, I might probably get the 250 log because on a bar I can press between 245, 260, somewhere in there. But then I watched Dylan West. Shout out to my boy.
Yeah, hit us up, buddy.
He's really strong. He does like a 440 bench or something. And I saw him go out there in that first lift. The lockout was a little rougher, and I went,
Like this may not go that great.
yeah. So I went with the light option on that one. And my first lift,
What was the light option?
just 205.
Just 205.
So the first lift I went up, I just, what do they call it? Viper press, I guess.
Yeah.
I was trying with it. I think it kind of was a Viper press. It might just been a fast clean and press. Yeah. And
Did you see the guy in the animal cage today? Viper pressed like 4 or something.
no,
was
but
nuts.
I can see the technique is you're basically just using a lot of speed and you're trying to roll it behind you.
Yeah, you're just carrying momentum up.
So I got to get a lot of practice with that. But the first lift, I got to start watching the judges more because
You didn't wait for your down.
no, I didn't wait.
Yeah, that's so easy.
And then I saw him as
Pulled the Thor.
went down. I went,
We've all done that.
that
Like,
one-
well,
so
you're
this-
like, well, that rep didn't count.
yeah. So this year wasn't too bad. The lifts didn't make me sore really the next day. So
yeah.
that was handy. The bag stuff, I don't train with a bag, but I think any strength kind of carries over to picking up and carrying a bag.
Yeah. I mean,
If you got a good grip.
it comes down to technique at that point more than strength carryover.
yeah.
Yeah. Unless if you're throwing it. I think somebody's like, just pick that bag off the ground.
Yeah.
You're going to get under it. And
So is that where you were confused on that? Was you thought you had to throw it behind you?
yes. And I did really good at that.
You did fantastic.
So there's
The announcer went,
Going the wrong way.
You're going the wrong. I asked
Other
him,
way.
Yeah, I said, did I get points for like negative distance?
Yeah, and this will be the key point where the editor will put said video right here.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't the only one that did the exact same thing. And I found out later, Big Marcus, not Marcus, Mark.
Shout out to Big Mark.
He's a Mexican mountain.
Big Mark, Mexican mountain.
That's his name, Mexican mountain.
Oh, that's
That's
awesome.
that's an awesome name.
Oh yeah, he's big, strong lad. Kind of found out we did the exact same thing. Like went the same distance after, failed the same distance backwards. So
you did the same as the Mexican mountain.
and I don't know why we didn't reset right afterwards. I think just confusion.
Oh,
and getting
yeah.
the wind knocked out.
I mean,
of
it
us.
says, what was it, 345?
No, it's 325.
325 bag just landed on your chest.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you have wherewithal like then.
I was thinking it hit the ground, so it's over. But then the dude's like, "No, you got 30 seconds or something if you drop it in the first 5 feet." So I'm like, "Oh shit! I just got to make some distance with it." So I just pick it off the ground, try to dig my fingers into it, and walk with it. So
I mean, still,
I didn't get a 0 on that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you still managed.
a
to
lot
get
of people
distance.
would have just taken that on the chin and then just walked off.
The last
So, I
year,
think-
I got a couple zeros on lifts, but this year, no, 0 zeros.
0-0.
oh, okay. I was like, what does that mean? But
Technically, I got a 0 then, if I was counting the zeros.
quit.
You got a 0 for zeros.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So next year, hopefully, it even gets better. So.
Oh yeah.
Next year you get it like anything above 20 would be great.
What were the weights on all your events?
Yeah.
So you did a 205 log, a 325 sandbag.
Yeah, 520 or 540 deadlift on that weird bar. What's it called?
Oh, the kabuki bar,
Yeah.
the trap bar.
Yeah.
And so that was for reps.
Yeah. So I kept trying to pull it out in front of me, which the boys told me not to do. And I kept wanting to do it like a deadlift.
Yeah,
Instead, it's almost like right behind the calf is where you need to pull it.
Yeah.
But it's weird. But
trap bar deadlift is always more of a leg press than it is. That's why it's kind of weird that it's a deadlift at all, but it is.
I'd like to done the silver dollar deadlift because that one's fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It just looks cool.
It does.
It looks way cooler than the trap bar deadlift.
Bending, it's the top end.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just a great lift.
And then our bags over bar was 250 and 275 at like 48 inches and 52 inches, I think.
You have to do that for reps.
Well, you got to go over the 48. And after you throw them over the 48, you pick them up, then throw them over the 52. I think it's a 50-foot stretch. So 25 feet, you go over the first bar, then
And it's timed.
So for your deadlift, was it just the one deadlift weight, or was there multiple? Or was it-
they had two. So the other one was 650, I think, and I want to say 520. I think it's 520. So every event had a heavy and light option, which was nice. That way, if somebody couldn't get the heavy one, you can still get points. You don't zero out. Besides the shield carry bag, I was just a one. And the two bag over the bar made me nervous. At the end of the day, everybody's tired.
Oh yeah.
I was like, God, I don't even know if I can pick this bag up.
And it was
didn't
a long day.
Much less than run with it and then put it over a bar.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't even have enough energy to practice with them because I'm like, I know I would just wear myself out right here.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to send it. I look outside. Some of the boys are like struggling to get it off the ground. I'm sitting there going, oh, God. I said, I ain't going to even get this up. And then we get out there, and I'm like, I'm just going to full send it.
Yep.
Run out there, and I'm pick that 250 up. I went, shit.
He forgot.
That wasn't that bad.
He forgot.
I can do this.
He forgot for a second that he was a mill sack.
Yep.
But it was still tiring. Like, Dylan West, he shouldered it because he's a little shorter, so he can't just roll it up. So he shouldered both and throwed them on that first one. And the amount of like just energy at the end of the day he was using,
Yeah.
I was like, God, he's got to be tired.
Yeah, I've had to do some bag carry medleys or whatever, and I always thought I'll shoulder it. It'll be easier to carry, but you waste so much energy shouldering it. You might as well just carried it. Carried it out front.
Yeah, he didn't have, especially being.
But if he was going to have trouble with height wise getting it over, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, so he had to double down and get it down.
Man,
That's insane.
yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It looked cool. I know
yeah.
we had missed two of those events just because it was such a long competition. Like we walked over and we seen that you were lining up for the sandbag carry, and I was like, oh, I had to yell at everybody like, guys, he's coming up. So then we're over there watching, and then you got confused on which direction to go.
Yeah, I fixed it.
You've got it. You recovered well.
I fixed it. I got back up, rode that horse.
Caleb had the phone up like a proud dad.
Oh, dude,
I know.
I had my phone straight up in the air. I was like, go to that.
Did you lower it?
Well, you went backwards. You went down.
Only when the time was up.
Come on, Nathan! Whoa! Go the other way. Get up, Nathan. Tim, I saw it. He was going for you. I saw it in his eyes. He was coming after you. Did he pick it back up? Yeah, he's got it. He's got it. Both drops at the same time. Remember, they can drop within the first 5 feet and reset and then
You went down just a little bit. Oh.
Yeah. And you go now. But so then we went walked around, came back, and it was still the same bag carries. I was like, dear God.
Yeah.
So then we kept walking around. Then by the time we'd circled around a few more times and we came back, then your event was up again, or at least they had moved on to the next event. It was like, now I don't know where he's at in this lineup.
Yeah. They had, I think they said 140 people going through it.
Jeez. I was gonna say, how long did it take from
All day,
from weigh-ins till
that morning? We got started right at 10. So 8 hours, 6 hours.
that is a long competition.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's crazy.
That's a Highland Games,
Well, it is especially long because it's like,
and in Highland Games you get to sit around a lot.
Yeah.
yeah, but it's especially long because now you can't get cold because you've got to stay warm for your next one, but you don't know when your next one's going to be.
Yeah, and
The roughest deal with that is we over warm up because
Yep.
when the women's 73 goes through, you got all this time, and you just start lifting back there. I done probably press 205 behind like 10 times before I even went out to the other one. Put 225 on, I was like, I can get that. And then the time comes out, and your shoulders, my triceps were pumped.
yeah,
When I went out there.
Because that's my complaint with powerlifting, but it doesn't span 6 hours like your competition did.
yeah.
So I was, like the people is on the finals today. I know they were tired.
Oh, they had to be.
Yeah, I saw, you could see it in their face.
Yeah.
I think Marcus said that he hurt himself today on it.
So to get to the finals, they had to compete yesterday and win what? Top 10? 5?
The top 10 open heavy guys, the top 2 of the other classes. So
Okay.
there was probably, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 18 people.
So then they had to do, is it a whole different set of events the next day?
Yeah. And they're usually a little bit
went
heavier.
down from what, 140, you said, to 18?
Yeah, I think 18 went to.
That's insane.
Yeah.
20 ain't looking so bad. Is
But
it?
it's really hard. Like the top 2 of all the other classes,
Yeah.
you get that top 2 is really hard. Where
Yeah.
if you're in open, if you make 9th place
You're in.
in the open,
Yeah.
you make it to the.
Yeah.
So
What division were you in? What class was you in?
I was in the middleweight, 105. Barely made it. There's a story behind that too.
What?
So I was about 240 driving up here.
Yeah, 105 is what, 234?
So the
38.1.
231.8 was the
Oh,
code.
that was it.
Yeah. So I told her, I was like, I'm just not going to. I had 3 sticks of cheese the night before. Didn't drink anything. On the way up here, I had some Diet Coke. Didn't drink anything for like 5 hours. Got here, peed, hadn't eaten. Went and weighed in at 4. It was 232.5. I was like, oh God. I was like, it's still weighing in until 6. So I was like, I'll be back to weigh in. Go back. I strip off everything besides my undies. I'll come back here and use the bathroom. I was up there squeezing. I was making sure I was empty. I go back and it read 232. I was like, gosh. She goes, what? Step off and step back on it. Like keeps the other person's for a second. So I get back on there and it went 231.8. She goes, that'll do it. Barely made it. I was like, oh God. I was happy.
So if you missed it, what would happen? You don't compete or you get moved up to the
You
next
go
one?
to the open, which I would have done about the same. I mean, the deadlift there would have been 600. I did that backstage for a few, and then 225 log. The bags wasn't too much of a difference. Like 25 pounds. You may have a little bit more length, but the first, I would have got them over the first one anyway. So it wouldn't have been too
Again,
bad.
you wouldn't have zeroed.
No.
So Michael and Alan were asking us while we were watching you compete what your PR deadlift was.
Right now, it's 6 something.
What's your all-time?
PRs.
All time, 725.
Okay.
On a bar.
Yeah.
That's what we thought.
Yeah.
Well, to get to that story, I asked him, I said, how, they're like, oh, he's a stud. He can lift 700 pounds. We've seen him do it. And then
Actually, we
no
followed that
sooner-
with
Yeah.
the 260 version
Yeah.
of Nathan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then no sooner they say that, and you come up and then whoop, right on
Yeah,
the back,
it couldn't have
and
been more perfect timing.
Yeah.
Caleb
like-
goes, well,
Yeah, we were right there. Like, dude, he was a stud, especially whenever he had all the weight on him. Like before
Yeah.
he had to cut down to his weight class. Like 260, Nathan was bulletproof.
I felt good. I hurt my shoulder a few years ago, but I'm getting like the pressing felt good. Last year I was doing it. I could barely move my shoulder the next morning, but I'm starting to bench again. Shoulder's feeling good. We got a good regimen going.
I'll never forget you sending the video of you doing bench press to me and Holland. And what'd you call it? The inverted shoulder press? Or
Yes, yes. just shoulder press.
hey, was it Nathan and Holland? I know Holland was there. Was it Nathan that was there at the gym that we won't talk about that you put the bar?
Yes.
It was both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. I couldn't remember if it was him or who was there.
Yeah, I used to like that. That was back in the day. That was just us three.
It
Trained,
makes
and
us
that
look
was
like
it.
we're 5'6", 5'5"
Yeah.
in the video.
We look like midgets in that video.
When he
Yeah.
said
But on
that
the bright side, when people meet me in real life, they're like, "Oh, you're taller than I thought you were."
That's usually what I get too.
Yeah.
Hey, you're taller than I thought.
Well, you seeing your whole family. This
Yeah,
don't
you
make sense.
I know we had the episode with my brother on it. And I was like, believe it or not, he is my only full blood sibling.
Nobody believes it.
No,
Still
I'm a
don't.
full foot taller than him.
Yeah, I still don't believe
Well, it's like my brother. My brother's 6'4". I'm 6 foot. He's the tallest one in our family.
it. Yeah.
But yeah, you talking about your weight cut? I did a strongman competition, and this dude was trying to make weight, and he had done everything he could. He did this water cut and all this kind of stuff. He was running out of time, and he ran to Walmart and bought some clippers. And he had a big, like, bushy beard, like Alan and Mike, and big long hair. He shaved his beard and his head, made weight. But like he had to
insane.
Nah.
but like he shaved his whole head and
You
face.
just seen him with that 1,000-yard stare after that. Just
Somebody told me, they're like, "You can cut
Hey.
your hair," and I went, "No, I'll make open."
Yeah, hey. But then he went,
I would do the same
hey,
thing. I wouldn't do it.
He went through all that, ended up placing like 6th out of 7.
But he wasn't last.
But I was like, was that worth it? Really? I mean,
That's why I'm with Nathan. I would be like, whatever. I'll just I'll
I'll
go
just
with whatever the consequences are. If I don't compete today, okay, I'll look okay still. Yeah.
We had Isaiah. There's a wrestler that was, I think he was like 4/10 over coming into a tournament, and he'd done peed and pooped. He couldn't do anything else. Coach said, "I don't care what you do, spit, run. You
Yeah.
got to get this weight off. You got to get fluids out of your system." Well, there he goes missing. And he sends one of the assistant coaches to the bathroom. He's there spanking off. He said, "What? You told me to get rid of fluids."
That'll do it.
it was like that's the only fluid he could think of.
Did he make weight? Yeah.
weight?
Yeah. You say fluids to a teenager. What do you think he's
Yeah.
going to think of?
Where I went though is he went
Bleeding.
like cut
Yeah.
himself.
That's what I was thinking.
I was thinking he went and like shaved everything.
No,
But that was just because I was going off what we were just talking
On
about.
the
He
way
got
up,
rid of fluids.
every time we'd stop to use the bathroom on the way up, like McDonald's parking lot, I'd be spitting
Yeah. Oh yeah.
on the way.
I didn't know that was a thing till me and Alan were here 2 years ago, and there was a guy trying to make lightweight Highland games, and he was walking around spitting. I was like,
oh yeah, we've had wrestlers cut almost half
Yeah.
a pound.
see, I never
3
did
hours
wrestling or
drive.
anything, and like any strength sport I do,
Chew
I don't
gum
cut
and
for a
spit.
weight class.
Or like peppermint candy.
Yeah.
Pop in the peppermint
Anything
candy.
to make
spit
your
in the
mouth
bottle.
salivate and spit, you
Yeah.
can lose quite a bit of weight.
Yeah, I got cousins that wrestled. Their spit game is
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
tight.
I wrestled 189s. I mean, I think they changed the weight classes. I don't even think there is a
They
189
change all the
now.
time.
It's like I think it goes to 191 or something.
195, 215.
Yeah. So, but whatever. I wrestled 89s. Just normal walking around. I weighed about 86, so I never had to cut.
Yeah.
But we'd be in the bus on the way somewhere, and I'd be eating. Dude next to me is just spitting in a bottle the whole trip, you know, because he's got to cut, a half a pound or whatever. Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Which I'd show up the
You're
wrestling
gonna-
room. Every wrestlers happen to cut weight watching food videos.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, it looks so good.
They're so hungry.
But to be
Why are you doing it to yourself?
I can't do it. If I had to, like, I mean, even what's And
you can't do it. You're cutting.
You're gonna have
Yeah,
to.
I was
beat
gonna
me,
say-
brother.
no, but I'm
That's what I was
talking
gonna
about.
br- that's what I was gonna bring up.
I'm talking about for strength sports. Like if I cut to like 220 for anything,
You're making yourself weaker.
A little bit.
that too.
Yeah, but in wrestling, you're because like most of the guys that I wrestled at 189s, normally they're walking around at 205, 215, and so hopefully they can water cut, rehydrate. So by the time we're wrestling, they've got 10 pounds.
But here's my question on that though. It's like, so you've cut down, like if your normal walk around is okay. So if you need to cut to 205,
yeah.
and your normal walk around would be what? Like your everyday, not
215.
206.
so if that's
215, like I'm 215, 217, somewhere around
and that's
there.
that's like your yearly walk around. Like if you're just
That's just your normal happy
215.
weight. Yeah.
but you've got to cut to 205.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's not a huge difference like I've heard, but we'll just use it as the example. Is if you're cutting to that so that you enter into your weight class at the biggest you can be,
Right.
what muscle mass are you keeping? Like where does your
Most of them is primarily a water cut.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a water cut. So
well, right.
They've got their diet down.
So they don't really
they
start
start-
trying to cut until a couple of days before.
Yeah, so I can lose like a gallon a day. That's 8
yeah.
pounds. Just a gallon of water out of your system.
Yeah, they
The
just-
thing is if you don't have water, your muscles can't act.
Yeah, the problem is
that's kind of what I'm
the
getting
problem
to.
is the rehydrate after the cut.
Get
If
your
you,
IV.
if you don't do it right, you're going to go in weak.
And this is
flat.
that's kind of what I'm getting to is why. Yeah. Like I understand like yours wasn't really that,
Everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
That's
but
why.
that's a really stupid answer.
I didn't do it because I didn't care that much about wrestling.
Exactly.
And I was
But-
I ended up I was pretty good at that weight anyway, so I was like, whatever.
And I'm no professional coach. I don't do wrestling. I don't do anything that really requires that heavy of a cut. But I just, in my mind, I'm thinking, why would I want to put my body in such a stressful state or in a weak state to enter something where I need to be at my peak and then hope that I rehydrate back to that peak the next
all
day?
science. I mean,
And it depends how close you are to it.
Yeah.
But you
That's why I'm like, I wouldn't say yours is that extravagant because, I mean, you were coming in like you're at the top of it, but you're not far off of what you were cutting down to normally. And you started your cut a while ago.
Yeah.
But I'm mostly meaning I'm mostly meaning the extremes like wrestlers and stuff like that.
like UFC fighters.
Those are the number one that come to mind.
But
40-pound cuts.
yeah.
Yes,
But, it's-
that's nuts.
But size matters. It makes.
Mass moves mass.
And I agree, but like usually in those weight classes like UFC, your weight classes are like it's so broken up, and the weight range that is in that weight class is pretty tight.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like we're talking.
I think everybody gets this thing of, I can drop this weight, rehydrate, and come in as a bigger person than this dude.
Yeah.
But if everybody's doing that, are you?
Yeah.
But are
Right.
they doing it as good?
I mean, let's look at Patty Pimblett.
Yeah.
The dude walks around.
But they have time. It's not like they're weighing in day of. They're weighing in.
Oh, right.
They got time to.
Right. But it's still like, I just don't understand the point of it. Why wouldn't you just.
Like high school wrestling, it's day of weigh-ins.
Yeah.
And most of them are dropping 10, 15 pounds. We had a kid,
well,
but his parents paid for it. I mean, he had a nutritionist that monitored everything he done.
I just don't see the benefit. Like,
Well, let's just say you want to fight this dude who's like got a 5'9" frame and he weighs like 150 pounds, but that's his healthy weight, right? He doesn't want to drop, and you can drop to 160, but rehydrate to like 180, right?
you think I'm going to drop to
just-
60.
No, but
It's
yeah.
an example,
fictitious.
Okay,
So,
okay,
like,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
And you're like, do I want to fight this 180, 200-pound dude that's also dropping down, and he's going to weigh 200? Am I going to fight that guy? We got the same skills, or I can fight this guy and probably win and get a belt.
Yeah. But that also brings up, and I haven't read the article, just the headline, but the bodybuilder girl this weekend
And this is kind of what I was getting to.
died from dehydration.
That's
weekend?
yeah. That's where I'm.
This weekend.
That's why I'm trickling this conversation to that.
That's
Is
where you got to be
Diuretics.
smart about what
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
doing.
But see,
well, I mean,
now,
even if you're smart about it, there's still that like you could play your cards right and still mess this up.
oh yeah, but now bodybuilding is on the other extreme because you have to be as dehydrated as possible to show
That's-
off.
and that's right, and that's it.
striations.
I think-
like it requires you to be unhealthy.
Bodybuilding
biggest-
is not so much a weight class as much as it is you have to be dry.
Yeah,
And the
Or you're
biggest,
not gonna
I think
do
it's
well.
been the biggest killer.
It is.
I could be wrong, but
other than
the
anabolics,
diuretics,
yeah.
the diuretics really come in use in like the 90s. Yeah. And that dude, they call him, I can't remember his name. I think he's German. The most shredded dude. And he basically dehydrated himself to death. You know who I'm talking about.
I do.
I don't know his name, but I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
It was like Ronnie Coleman talking about the first Mr. Olympia he won. The guy told him he needed to drink alcohol the night before to dehydrate himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't know that. He
He said that was
the,
the best he'd ever looked.
yeah, because the guy said that he actually gave him that alcohol not to dry him out, but to take stress off of him because he was just so stressed out. He was like at the dude's door asking like, "What do I need to do? How do I need to improve? How do I do this?" And he goes, "Just come in here and chill out." Gave him a shot of alcohol, and the next morning he was just dry as could be. He said, "I swear he looked better the next day."
Because you don't really hear a lot of bodybuilders in the golden age, dying as much, especially when they're young.
Yeah, and because I don't.
They're a
think,
little puffier.
Yeah, they weren't
That's it.
dehydrated.
They
as
didn't
much.
have to be as.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's like Arnold is the GOAT. I'm not taking away from Arnold being the GOAT, but like if you look at his posing and his Olympia wins and stuff, compare that to now modern day bodybuilders. He's not as shredded.
No, these guys nowadays are just shredded.
But every
That's not. That does not mean he looked bad.
He's
Like,
not as shredded.
yeah.
Now I will say that I think even then, some of his wins he wasn't more shredded than the others.
I think his arms.
He was also
Was
his symmetry.
chest.
His symmetry.
Oh
was
yeah.
His,
There was a lot of things playing into Arnold
like
being the best.
his proportions were ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And he even said one time, he was talking about, like if I worked on a body part, let's say if I grew my calves in half an inch, I would have to then grow my quads in half an inch, my hamstrings a half an inch, my glutes a half an
He's
inch.
kind of teetering on the Eugene Sandow side of
like
thinking.
he had every single measurable measured, and he had that symmetry down. If anything changed, he had to change everything else to match it.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, Eugene Sandow was measuring statues at museums.
Greek sculptures.
Because he said, I've got to have the prime physiques. I mean, I would say, but I mean, like,
Remember, Dave was like, "What a pervert!" But I mean, could you imagine the because bodybuilding doesn't exist yet, right?
exactly.
And you walk in, and there's this dude measuring. He's
See, and that's why I like having that mindset on with us is because to us we think Eugene Sandow is the father of bodybuilding.
Yeah.
That is the guy. But like then whenever we hear that he used to do this, we're thinking, man, dude, like that's inspiring. But someone who does not care about this, they're like,
I bet that was weird looking.
that's odd, right?
That's like, could you imagine the first person that heard a parrot talk?
Yeah.
Like
They probably punched it.
they're like witchcraft.
You said, what about my mom?
They threw it on the water and see if it'd float.
Yeah. Then they had to see if it caught on fire, probably. And then that's how we have
Well, yeah.
See
chicken.
if it was made out of wood.
Because a bird floats, a duck. See if it made out of wood. I'd say it depends on the time. I don't know when they found out about parrots, but I'm going to say since it's pirate-like, they just pulled out a flintlock and went to town on it.
Yeah. Shot it.
Have at thee.
They're like, that bird was possessed.
But yeah, I mean, like it's been proven. Like even with God, I keep sliding down this couch. It's been proven that you can't really. If you go under 5% body fat, your body will shut down.
Yeah.
Regardless of what Ronnie Coleman said, that he was at like, what didn't he say he was like at 0 or 1 or
It
something?
was
nuts.
0 point something 33 or
Yeah. Which I don't
I think he said
yes.
3.3%. I think somebody's
Which it
told
could
him.
be the machine.
Yeah.
And that's it because he was reading the number he got from was like what is it, the hydro whatever
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think it's Ronnie Coleman lying. I think he's just saying what he was told.
Yeah.
But either way, it's proven you can't go under 5%, and now we've hit that peak of where people are aiming for this 5 or like 4 point whatever. It's as scientific as you want to be. You can't nail that number.
They want to get right below. They want to get right to the point where their organs start shutting down.
Yeah.
and
then
stop right
try to
before
stay
that.
yeah. And so then you hit this point where now it's like you can't come back from it.
Yeah.
I mean, like
That's like
once you fall off the cliff, you can't climb back up.
well, that's like we were talking about in any sport. Like there comes a point where
Exactly.
you start sacrificing health for performance.
Yep, and that's why, like, strongman, world's strongest man. Like, I mean, we've talked about it that now it's become not so much a mass monster type of sport. It's more of a who can be Mitch Hooper, who can be the most athletic and the strongest, who can move the most weight, the most amount of times, the fastest.
Yeah,
I think
and be the best technician.
I think he changed the sport. Not like bad or anything.
No. I agree with you.
He shocked a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yep, and because
Technique.
Yeah, but I think that kind of started with Martin's Leetsies.
I agree
with his first.
because he was one
Arnold.
of the lightest ones to win.
Yeah, it was was it an Arnold win?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He won Arnold, and then he won World's Strongest Man.
yeah, and he was what 330, something like that.
He's even said that like some of his PR lifts to this day happened whenever he was at like just about 300.
What's the guy's? I don't know if he's Ukraine. Oh, it starts with the O. He won it 1 year.
Oh,
He's only like 280.
yeah,
You know what I'm talking?
yeah, Alexei Novikov.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't even whenever he won the World's Strongest Man. Yeah, he wasn't. He's a short dude, but and I think they've changed that a lot. Like on top of we've had people come in like Martins, Mitch Hooper, Alexei Novikov that have come in and really shocked everybody with how much power can come out of a. I mean, I say small. They're not small people.
They're huge guys. But
Yeah.
they're not.
They're not Brian Shaw.
half
Yeah,
floor.
but
They're not 6'9", 400.
So
something.
there's events I've even noticed that height or limb length plays a big.
oh yeah,
Like all the presses, like some of the dudes, they got shorter arms. They're all still strong. They do better with the log press.
yeah.
When it comes to like any loading thing, the taller guys or longer arm guys, so much easier. Even if they were weaker in a lot of other stuff,
Oh
they
yeah.
would just run with it.
Yeah.
So a lot of the strongman stuff, like stones, stuff like that, the taller you are, the less you got to move something, and the heavier you are, you're picking up less % of your weight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. And so with them changing that, I think this is purely my opinion, is because now you're seeing a lot less of these guys come in like Eddie Hall, where they're pushing 450 on a 6'2" frame. Like they're not. We're not having these guys come in that are just like superly unhealthy.
Yeah.
Just to move the most weight because mass moves mass.
Eddie
and now
Hall was a static monster.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think they're trying to get away from that because now you've got a really weird stigmatism sticking to your sport that is all these guys are going to die by the time they're 35.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, not Brian Shaw, obviously, because the dude's 6'9", and carrying 400 pounds of muscle on him is a lot different than someone of Eddie Hall's size at like 6'2", 6'3", carrying 450. Way different.
Yeah, and when it was geared towards the more static lifts, you had to do what
Right,
Eddie
yeah.
did
And that's
to
why-
compete with those guys.
And that's why I think they changed the layout of the sports. I mean, it's always been a lot different. World's Strongest Man has changed a lot several times.
Like you go back to the 80s with John Paul,
Yeah.
Sigmarsson, where there was a lot more moving,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of running.
and he
Oh,
was
yeah.
275,
yeah.
and he was so fast, and
You
didn't
had,
run out
you
of
had
breath.
Franco Colombo in the first one.
Yeah.
The dude is like this
They were
tall.
making fun of the bodybuilders in the first one. And a lot of
Yes.
people say, "Oh, it's just, they're muscle, they're weak, or whatever." Well, it's because they're mostly dehydrated most of the time.
Well, yeah. There.
When they, Lou Ferrigno did the best at the deadlifts at that event.
Yep.
Yeah.
The car.
But see, the thing is though, too, a lot of those old school guys, they still lifted heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was Mike Israetel even said, he said, there's a weird thing that goes around that says if you see the most jacked guy at the gym that looks like a bodybuilder, don't take strength advice from him because he's not strong. And he said, that's stupid. That guy's definitely strong. He
Yeah.
just lifts light weights a lot of times because he needs to hit a number.
Yeah.
Ask him what his 1 rep max is. I bet it's going to shock you. I was like, he's got a point.
Or he can take a couple of weeks, get his
Yeah.
tendons used to it.
Yeah, do some
Just start
do,
pulling some
do
stuff,
a quick strength cycle. I was
But-
like, he's got a point.
Look at the guy at the Thor's Hammer today. How big he
That
was.
was also true.
And
Did
he
you go by
couldn't
that
pick it
tent?
up, and you did.
It was the Chocolates tent that I was telling you. Oh, yeah, we talked about it
Yeah,
earlier.
I went through right after the comp.
Yeah, so the hammer.
You see the hammer?
I went over there. I went to go get chalk so I could go try the Thomas Inch dumbbell, which I missed today, but I will get redemption tomorrow. And so I went over there to get chocolates, and there's this dude like,
But I want to stop there for a second. Just I am shocked. I have seen him lift a Thomas Inch
I've done more than the Thomas Inch.
several times, and I wasn't there when he missed it. And it's
I got
still
videos of
hard to believe that I
Yeah.
saw the video.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Got
yeah,
it to his knees. He's
that's
never-
AI.
He's
So I ran over. There's a dude at least 3 inches taller than me.
Yeah.
And very
In
Arms twice the size of his.
that dude was huge, like huge.
He couldn't even get it off the ground.
did he have small hands though?
It took both hands to get it off the ground.
I was like,
he
this
barely
is
pulled it with both hands.
yeah, like, this is amazing because I
Really,
walked up.
barely?
I didn't even make a big deal. I went over just to get like a shot of chocolates and to buy some real quick. Like that's all I went there for. And I walked over and I just like snuck by him and I went, picked it up with one hand, set it down, grabbed my
I
chocolates,
tried
and
to
I
get
left.
the guy's attention to say, hey, man, you want to see actually how it's done?
He's got one of the best grips I've ever seen in my life.
That's why I was saying. That's why I was
it
shocked
on the,
when he missed the Thomas.
the pinch grip you did? Like 2,
The Saxon bar?
yeah.
I did 200, but that was after a
200.
full comp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just,
And that was
Picks it up.
that was just to get that.
and we had to
record.
talk him into
I wasn't
doing
even
that.
going to do it. Yeah, that was just to set the
Just to get
record.
to set the
Yeah.
record.
We're like,
Yeah, I
you
had
can
a-
have a record, just do it.
I had a set of old mini bars. What do you call them? You know, you put they're like
Oh, the loadable dumbbells.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I've done that for years. I load up plates on the bottom and pick up the top. I took that around everywhere. People never beat me at it. This
yeah.
guy throw it on 20, 30 pounds more.
I did.
Just pull it.
Yeah, I remember the first day that we were up there, and I had that axle bar.
Oh yeah.
That was the worst day of my life. Okay, that's like one of the burned in brain memories that will not leave. Whenever Nathan says, "All right, guys," which anytime whenever we were working out in those days, if Nathan said, "Here's the plan," I know I'm going to hurt for a week.
It's like, oh, this is gonna suck.
Yeah, 'cause then he goes,
But
"We're
in a
going to
good
do."
way.
Yeah, he's like, "We're going to put 315 on the bar, the axle bar. We're going to do double overhand for 3 reps. We're going to keep going back and forth until all of us are out except for one." I was like, we got to what, 100?
That was something crazy.
Like the next day, I had to work on something at work, and I put my hand in like this, and it immediately cramped from my fingertips to my elbow.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't.
Well, I had to give up on the double overhand way before you two did. I had
you
to go
got
to-
that-
I had to go to a staggered grip.
You got that hand that's you got surgery on.
You got that hand that don't work so good.
I got that strong hand.
You got that hook hand.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does hold me back a little.
Yeah.
I think though, because I'm still feeling it, because I think I might have shot my attempt at the inch tomorrow, because they had a 350-pound dumbbell, just a regular one, and everyone's over there trying to pull it. I was gonna walk off. I really was.
No, you wasn't.
My wife said, "Go pull it, honey." And I was like, "Shit, now I got it."
I got to now.
So I went over and I watched these guys over there trying to pull it with one hand. They barely moved it with 2. I was like, "Oh, well, I have to try." And like I pulled it and I felt it tinge like up through here, and I was like, "Oh, that's not good."
But you still pulled.
No, it didn't come up. It didn't move.
It wiggled.
They got it bolted to the floor or
Yeah.
something.
Wiggle it.
Should have went to the tinge place that Holland went to.
Yeah,
It's true.
you have to sit through a very determined sales pitch.
I know. I don't know how you keep getting stuck by the people that have the longest sales pitch.
Yeah. The tins thing, I was like, hey, I love tins unit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they're like, hey, you need a trap massage, and I was like, yeah, that sounds amazing.
They
That
put
guy
that thing
today-
on my back.
yeah, and
It would like contract the traps and then drop it. So I just started getting tickled and I just started laughing.
yeah.
They took it off of me because they thought I was weird.
So I sat through the whole
They
thing.
said,
You're done.
You're. We'll see. Just go.
You're done.
Go around. Come back."
yeah, I ended up getting the whole sales pitch. The thing started off at $1,000.
Jeez.
For that little iPad thing?
The iPad thing, and the accessories, and because it came with a one that would go around your leg, or
I was like,
it had
shit, you
had
can get an electric fence at Co-op. Watch you
grab
just
it.
walk up behind it. My leg's hurting. Get up under it.
But then I was like,
It's good. It's good.
but then I was like, no, it's a little much. The price point's a little too much for me. They're like, well,
$9.50.
they're like, what do we do? What if we do this and this and add a lifetime warranty? And I was like, yeah, still, they ended up going all the way down to like $450. I was like,
Yeah.
what kind of markup are they working here? If they
Yeah.
could just right there drop
That's a
$600.
$20 thing. You can go to Dollar General and find one of those for $20.
You can probably go to a chiropractor and get
those
your
cattle
insurance
progs.
paid.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
electricity. That's it.
But
Yeah, and that's what I kept wondering. I was like, we have one at home. I mean, it's old. It's still like you plug it in, you just like slap
Yeah.
little patches on. But I was like, how does it work any better than that one?
it's not wirelessly controlled by a
Or how does it work any better than going to someone I know to get acupuncture?
I don't know.
I guess you could jog with it, and then you just be going.
But I was
So you can like tell everyone I don't know.
Yeah.
How about colored acupuncture?
Okay, let's not.
Hey, now
Hey, what-
this is 2025.
I'm
here.
really trying to figure out what that even means here.
I honestly don't know what you're
What
talking
are you
about.
talking
Hey,
about?
So before I
All
jump
right,
to
Mike's off the show.
Hey, you got? Can you bleep that? Can you bleep that?
Editor.
yeah, I'll put in a duck quack
His
on
mic
it.
is off.
Whack. Has it been off the whole time?
No, I just turned.
Oh, I was like, geez, man, I didn't even know. I was like, how have I heard him?
It's like
I'm gonna take it that it means that you use colors for acupuncture. Well, I'm kind of colorblind. How does that work?
yeah,
I'm kind of colorblind. How are you kind of colorblind?
All right, so it's like shades I don't see. Like apparently there's different.
Thanks. I know.
There's different.
I knew what colorblind
So-
means.
it means that I don't see.
So when people say
differentiate colors.
So when people say maroon, and somebody has something that's red, I'm like they're both just red.
I got you. Yeah.
So I don't really see the shades. At some point they flip. Like I'll take a blue and gray, and I'll say it'll be gray apparently, and I'll think that's blue,
Yeah.
and then I just can't see that difference.
Right.
That's one of my friends at work is like
Colorblind.
Yeah, it starts with a T. Can't think of it.
Tism.
now. It's like blue and drop it. Maybe. Yeah. But yeah, it's blue and grays.
Tracheotomy.
Close enough.
tickled.
So I don't. So
Taco Bell.
So I don't know if that will.
Tyrannosaurus Rex. Are we getting close?
It's close. So I work with another boy who's colorblind, but it's like
Ticonderoga.
green and reds. So when we're working together,
Is that Timmy has that too, doesn't he? Green and red. Yeah.
Dad Timmy.
So is Tom.
Bubby, Roxanne's boy.
Oh, really?
He's also
Oh, wow.
colorblind. And
Teddy's got it.
so it runs, I guess, in the family. So this other
Yeah.
the other guy I work with,
Instead of walks.
he's got the red green,
Yeah.
and I got the blue gray. I said, in between us, we'll make the color out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. So
What color do you see?
So
I
we get
see
a
gray.
call. We get a call to Walmart, and it's
I
like
see blue.
It's like a gray. They said a gray van. I looked at him and said,
The two of you together are like, what the heck?
so we get there, and instead of looking for it, we go, what row is it on? We'll just pick out a van and go for that.
What's the license plate number?
I looked at it and I said, did they say a gray van? And he looked at me and goes, yeah. I was like,
Stick
"Ah."
your hand out the window.
It's like, they're all gray vans.
Yeah, well, it didn't work out too good because they were both CO'd. So it'd be kind of weird if they put their hand up.
One of my friends at work is colorblind, so he'll pull up the vacation schedule, and whoever makes our vacation schedule assigns colors to each person that we put on our squares. Well, they picked colors they know he can't see. So he'll always he'll turn his monitor up and he'll go, "Who's got this day off?" I was like, "That's whoever." And he goes, "I was like, how do you not know that?" Oh, yeah, my bad.
So I make fun of him a lot because I'm a little colorblind, but if it's like blue and red, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
So in our like hazmat training, you got plaques.
Yeah.
And it's got the different colors.
So you
They'll pull
got a
it up
touch of the T.
Yeah, they'll pull it up and they'll be like, "So this color means that," and I look over at him.
Tiramisu.
I just look over at him and say, "You getting this?"
One time, Timmy, we were working on trails.
It's my favorite story.
And we was supposed to go through and set out some stuff where these flags were. And they'd gone through and tied flags in these trees. Well, they were red. It was red flagging that they were tying on these green limbs. Timmy just sees gray all through there. He never found any of them. And they were like, "What were you doing?" And he was like, "I never saw any flags. What are you talking about?"
Dad went and bought a Jeep one time, And he said, yeah, it's a green Jeep. I'll bring it in here. And he brings it in, and it's black as night. We were so confused.
What did he think?
You're like, wait, hold on. Which one of us is not seeing this color right?
Like,
Well, I didn't know then.
you're like, what? Okay.
What color do you see?
So growing up, I really didn't know the color blindness, and I really started noticing it at Maryville College when I was working there.
Yeah.
And talking about our shirts,
Oh yeah.
and I was like, yeah, these blue shirts, and they're like, that's gray. I thought they were messing with me,
Yeah.
so I was like, yeah, whatever. And then Jess is like, no, they're gray. And I said, no, they're blue. So after that, then I went and got tested, and I get it tested at work once a year, and
No, I'm not. My mother had me tested.
That doesn't like disqualify you or anything, does it?
no. And then my depth perception test.
Whoa, those are
Since
two different tests.
They use color for that. And she goes, I don't know how you're even standing up.
Oh, because
you can't
did
see the
so
difference.
poorly on
Yeah.
it.
So there's 12 of them. There's 12 of them.
I've done this test.
I get through the first one.
Yeah.
And I don't see anything else. Yeah. And she stopped. She goes, okay, so you don't see anything else? I'm like, no. And she stopped. She goes, how are you standing up? She held like her hand in front of me. She goes, can you see me move it?
Is this close or far?
That reminds me
So
of
they
the
just-
Sesame Street. They were like,
Yep. Far. So now she knows now that I just can't. She goes, I know you drive. Yeah. And she goes, it's just got to be the colors.
she was like, here, catch this.
Yeah.
Threw something at
It's just the
you.
colors.
Doesn't even ask how you're standing up. Just interesting. What's interesting? Catch that.
And the first time I never took one of those before, and she did this little.
I've never taken a depth perception.
After she,
Whenever I took mine, they even said a lot of people fail this because it's a weird test, anyways.
Yeah.
And I see color, and I was still like, "That's weird, man." Because it's just like, you ever seen the ones that's like find the pattern?
Oh, yeah.
It's like a bunch of different colored dots. There's like an 8 in a different color.
Well,
it's
some-
similar to that, but it's like, where's the circle? It's like a pattern.
That's what it's-
Which
yeah.
one's closest to you?
that's what it's supposed to do. I don't know after the first one. I knew something was up when she's like, tell me what number or whatever is in it, and I give the first one. She goes, okay, number 2, and I go, ain't nothing there. And she goes, starts looking through stuff, and I go,
Flipping through her notes. We didn't learn about this.
that makes you nervous when you hear a nurse go,
In ophthalmology school, we didn't cover this.
Yes.
She was absent that day.
yeah. So I always get stuck with somebody that we usually have a condition, and me and other boys run the squad right now, and we're both somewhat autistic with things.
So you do have a touch of it.
Yes.
Touch of the tiz.
Yeah.
So I was right.
So we'll run calls, and we have a hard time showing a lot of emotion. So I told him, I said, just best be quiet, don't say anything, because it's
don't
more,
have anything
it's more
nice to
likely
say,
it's what's
don't
going to
say anything at
happen.
all.
What's going to happen is we'll get on a CPR or something, and somebody will ask, how are they? And I'll probably say, oh, they're dead. But then Nick, I'm going to call Nick out. It's too late. I already said his name. He'll probably correct me.
You all right over there?
What I was picturing now is the scene from Monty Python. He's like, oh, they're dead. I'm not
Yeah.
dead.
And then my boy will probably be like, I'm sorry, he means past.
Oh, they croaked.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're dead as
But
could be.
I have noticed, we don't let a lot of emotion. Like, it can be the craziest call in the world.
But couldn't
And
that work, though?
Yeah,
Because
and me and
you need
him
to
are
be
just like
calm.
so focused.
Yeah.
Like, you know how some people, like, it's autism. I don't know what this. They get like super fixated on stuff.
Yeah.
So when you're working somebody, nothing else is going on.
Oh, yeah. That's a
Yeah.
good. That's
It's
a good thing.
It's just like a 350. You're swapping out gaskets on.
Yeah.
You're doing your thing.
Right.
Yeah. Nobody, like, people be screaming.
Yeah.
Nothing else exists besides, yeah. So I mean, it's got its ups and downs.
Yeah, you know.
Sure.
Doing great.
But you know, if I'm working with the other guy and we get to a red light and he goes, "What do we do?" I'm like, "I don't know. Which one is it? The top one?"
Oh, you'd have hated Japan. They're all this way.
He's good.
You know, but on that topic, you know, I have a medal.
In your blood, like iron?
No, I mean yes, but that's not what I'm talking about.
He won this medal.
I've won this medal.
Fair and square.
Maybe you should look into competing for one.
You might actually be able to beat him.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually unbeatable because I don't compete in that one anymore.
I'm listening.
So
Do you know what Holland does?
Like every day? No.
No.
What he does on his spare time.
Yeah, like you know who he coaches?
Caleb.
Like
No, he
personally,
doesn't coach me.
Personally?
Special Olympics is what he's getting at.
Oh. Who's Special Olympics?
Caleb won a Special Olympics gold medal.
And you could too.
In what category?
Okay, here's the story. Before they mess it up, here's what actually happened.
Give him the knife hand already.
We have told this before, and they like to twist this whole thing.
Let's lower that. That's
Listen, it's not sharp yet, so it's okay.
Twist that. Little.
As soon as this gets sharp, buddy, we got a problem.
You were getting close. You're getting real close.
Listen, from my heart, my heart goes out to you. Okay?
You kept going there every time. It wasn't like some people do this, you know, or you could have done that. You kept going real.
Listen here.
It's Elon Musk, bro. Just don't worry about it. Yeah. Right. Any who's or what's-er, what actually happened is Holland kept telling me that I need to do the Power Partners.
Like the country?
Yes. The country spoke to me.
Okay.
But anyways. So Holland kept telling me I need to do Power Partners, where, you know, they partner up a regular athlete with a Special Olympics athlete. They put your total together.
Yeah, I figured that out.
Yeah, don't break another one.
And so I signed up. Whenever I signed up, I noticed that it said Special Olympics. And then I text Chip and said, "Hey, I think I signed up under the wrong one. Can you fix this?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's fixed, no problem." Everything went all as planned. I went and did the competition. Me and actually, no, they had canceled the Power Partners part, and it was just a powerlifting meet. I don't know. But either way, at the end of it, so they announced it. Hold on.
What it ended up being is
You're going to mess this up.
no. Instead of doing the power,
This time I changed it for you.
instead of it being a teamed power partner meet, they had just a powerlifting America competition with a Special Olympics competition.
Yes.
So Special Olympians lifted by themselves in their own category instead of inside the power partner category.
Yes, we did. And then
We did.
a little bit of foreshadowing on there. So we got to
That's good podcasting.
now that's also my first powerlifting meet ever. So I don't really know how things are going.
Strong start right there.
Yes. So all I know is they announced what I thought was my weight class, and they announced another guy winning, and I went, I beat that guy. That's weird.
I lifted heavier than him.
But I was like, I don't know how these things work. Maybe I was in a different weight class. I don't know. So we just kept going. Then they said the winner of the Special Olympics, this weight class, and I went up there to get my medal because they announced my name. And I get up there, and this is where it gets bad. It's
No,
because,
you didn't act like you were.
No.
Oh,
No.
Pull Johnny Knoxville.
No. So we get up there, and it's now.
I wish we had Jessica laughing on my. She's dying.
Now let me
did you?
paint.
I thought you was going to borrow a wheelchair and roll up.
No. Now let me paint this picture for you. I don't want you guys to miss this, okay? So we've got Chip. Chip's about yay high. He's the guy. He's the main coach and the guy that runs the Special Olympics powerlifting and the Power Partners organization. Now, Chip is not just handing out medals, but he's emceeing. But now he's also got.
Was it Shelly?
Shelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got Shelly with her, which Shelly is, probably 4 foot even.
Shelly is shorter than Kira.
She is tiny. And she is a Special Olympic athlete. And she's the one that actually puts the medals on you. Now, that's important to know because of this next part. So now I walk up, and Clint, you've met Clint, haven't you?
Clint Poor.
Clint Poor. So Clint Poor is the guy announcing. So he calls my name. I walk up here. Chip, in the middle of Shelly about to put this medal on me, Chip says, "You're not a Special Olympic athlete." And now before I can say no, Clint says, "You sure?" Now, I am really stuck here because now how do you
earned it though, right?
Right, but now how do you answer this "Are you sure?" question in front of Shelly, who is probably the sweetest person on this planet, and a room full of other Special Olympic athletes? Now, how do you say no without coming off like an asshole to the whole room? So all I went was, "I'm sure." And so nothing happened, and then they gave me the medal anyways.
So Shelly puts it on him.
And that was the end of that.
So we're like,
So what do they call that? An honorary?
They call that hazing.
What do they call that? An honorary. Hey, Holland. What do they call it? An honorary degree?
yeah, honorary degree.
So basically what I'm saying is,
But what he did though,
me and Johnny
honorary
Knoxville are right here.
So Caleb took the 125 kilo Special Olympians gold medal.
He walked with it. No.
That kid ended up having to take silver.
Like, did they ask you afterwards, like how long did you train for this? And, no.
I'm really lucky in the sense that this was a small meet, because if this would have been a really big deal, that would have been a problem.
Hey,
So what happened
in history, they're going to go back and go,
Did that qualify you for state?
I mean, technically, yeah. Also, you
What's
know
your
what
future?
else?
What's your future plans?
I actually set the state deadlift record at that meet.
So it's on record.
It is. I didn't think about that till right now.
There's gonna be some poor kid about 50 years from now trying to beat your record.
Take your shot, kid.
This guy, they're gonna have a picture of you and go, "This guy's a legend." You're the Bill Kazmaier of that sport.
Dog. Hey, man.
They had to ban you.
Win where you can, okay? Hey, if they ban me so I don't keep winning,
Yep.
me and Bill, we're right here.
So you have a state record?
Yeah. Technically two, because I set the Special Olympics and the regular.
I feel like you should bleep. You should probably cut half of that back part of this podcast off. You gotta
No.
keep that.
No.
We've told the story a few times.
The best part about it is Caleb kept the medal. He still has.
I still have
He
it.
walked off the stage with the medal.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
How'd you feel afterwards? Like, I mean, you did
like,
some work. Right?
Confused.
You did some work. He really felt like you know.
Well, he did win it. I mean, he did.
I felt like whenever I graduated high school again and I found out my mom did have me tested in kindergarten, so
I mean, he crushed that kid.
You went home and asked your mom.
no, whenever you graduate high
Mom,
school, you get
am I
your whole
special?
folder.
Oh,
Like whenever you graduate high school, they give you your whole file they have on you.
I got a GED, so
Well, I didn't.
They didn't give
and
me
they
nothing.
they gave me my whole
I
file.
didn't get jacked.
And so I'm looking through my file like, oh, this will be cool. Like I've always wanted to know what's in here, and I'm reading through like, oh, detention 75 times and this and that. And, Mom, what's this?
She was like, "Oh, I thought you were special." And I had
No,
you tested.
what really happened is my tongue was too big for my head, so whenever I talked, I sounded funny. So, I swear to God, this is not made up. This is not a joke. Like, this is a true story.
What does that condition start with?
I don't know, but
Probably a T also.
I don't know, but he could put down some. He could put down some popsicles.
Dang straight, buddy.
So
Did you grow into it?
Yeah.
Okay.
his head,
Without making more jokes about it, yeah.
his head had to grow into his tongue.
Careful with that one.
They never did say a cat's got his tongue because there wasn't no cat big enough.
No. Big old paw.
Cat walk up on that and go,
I don't think
Rats.
"That's a record."
So yeah, that's that story.
That one's special. Do you got the medal hanging?
I did for a long time.
Yeah.
You're still halfway proud of it. I can tell.
I'm proud of all my medals.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I
he
would
earned it.
Yeah. It wasn't like it was given to you.
Yeah. He did have to compete for it.
I did compete. I did win. I whooped the hell out of that competition.
So maybe I'm not getting the picture. Did you not see the competition around you, or like he's off in a room by yourself?
No, it's a mix. Like there's regular athletes and Special Olympics athletes all competing. But like whenever it came to handing.
Wait, did you have a regular with you, and you were the
No.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. They got rid of the power partners part. It's like
okay.
I was supposed to be in the regular athlete powerlifting meet, but my scores were input under the Special Olympics side.
So
So the guy there was one guy that even though I beat him, I would have won the regular athlete side.
2 nights in a row.
But they gave it to the guy that would have got second.
So you know how mad I'd be if I was a Special Olympic guy.
Careful how you answer this.
And
Hey, if I was that kid's parents, I'd be like, this is an outrage.
And this 6 foot
I actually never even saw who it was.
And this 6'6"
Chip went ahead.
knucklehead walked up on stage and took my medal.
Like this behemoth.
So technically, what
I'd be
happened,
like,
Chip brought plenty of gold.
I would be
medals.
I'd be like, I'm going to put him in a wheelchair
So
technically what
right
happened,
afterwards.
Technically, what happened?
You're just be glad that you didn't get jumped afterwards.
No, see, here's what really happened: is there was one guy there because the guy that should have won did get his medal and was originally fixed.
Don't be talking shit about that guy.
I'm not. That's not the guy I'm talking shit on. No, but the guy that should have got second in my weight class actually got a medal for first, even though he got second.
You pointed that out.
I'm just saying, the medal is still warranted.
Did you get a second place one?
No,
Okay.
So I asked Holland. Was it
I got the first place one.
The only first place.
So you Trantism?
What?
You Trantism?
I don't think you should say that. I'm uncomfortable, and I'm pretty sure wherever Dave is, he's uncomfortable.
I like how the comfort has went from Caleb to Holland. They just traded comfort zones.
That's usually how it goes
Now Caleb's tense and Holland's all relaxed.
for now.
Hey, you said to calm him down a little bit.
Yeah.
We meant like massage him.
Well, he wanted to snuggle, but
No, he didn't.
Yeah, dude, when we first got here, he wanted to snuggle, but he
No, he didn't want
No.
to. He said he would.
Somebody invited.
He wanted.
Mike wanted to until I ate my She Legit, and he was like, "No,
What?
Yeah, no.
The what?
Not
His
after the Sheila
TikTok
shit.
supplement. Yeah, go ahead. Tell about your She Legit. We've had enough time ragging on my experience.
I'm just saying it increases virility."
It keeps him from rolling out of
What
bed.
it's made out
That
of.
was the best thing
virility?
ever. We were talking about that at the gym one day, and Kyle, who we've talked about pretty frequently, he was 17. He was 17 at the time, and we're talking about She Legit. And then Kyle goes, "Oh, I've seen that on TikTok. I need that." And I was like, "I didn't know what it was yet." So I said, "Holland, what's it do?" And then he gave us the spiel on it, but it helps sex drive and all this stuff. And I looked at Kyle and said, "You're 17.
Why do you need help?
Yeah, it's a.
It also improves energy, mental focus, all that other kind of
Tell
stuff.
you what
too,
it's
but
made out of.
It's made out of
Testosterone.
No.
Oh.
No.
Estrogen."
Animal and plant matter that is rotted and
It's a
collected in the crevices of rocks they collect. It's
Yeah.
a black
So it's basically
They-
kraut.
It is, yeah. It's a resinous material.
Did you make that word up?
That they scrape out of the cracks of these rocks in the Himalayas.
Dude, there's a guy somewhere making a fortune right now.
There's some
With
guy.
a broken seashell just
Yeah.
scraping
Well,
cracks.
There's somebody. It's just rock dust, and they're like, we can sell this. What are we gonna call it? Sheila Monster.
We'll put it on TikTok. We'll put it on TikTok. They'll buy it.
Yeah.
Especially whenever I see some of the, like, there's a bunch of different versions now. Like, Holland's at least got the gummy version, so that's easier to watch. Like, I've seen this dude that
I got
just,
some
like,
of those honey sticks. The She Legit honey sticks.
whoa, you be
As a-
careful.
As a free
Mike
sample
is
day.
trying to get banned.
He just every once in a while he'll throw something out.
I got one of them honey sticks. You can follow me over here.
We got
Colored acupuncture.
that one really. I was sitting there trying to figure out what was going on with that.
I still don't know what that is.
I don't want to.
I was about to say, quite frankly, I don't think that's podcast safe. We've gone pretty far on this show, but I think that might be like tipping over the edge there.
You just pull up something.
But anyways, I've watched a guy use She Legit, and it's like,
The actual resin.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like he's got like a little stick that's like in a honey that you use, And he's just like, yeah, you just, put it. And I was like, that looks like straight up tar.
That's witchcraft.
And then he's like mixing it in water. I was like, that looks like you're mixing tar and water.
Yeah, you do that in the wrong place. Like you go to like.
I don't know what black tar heroin looks like, but that's what I think it looks like.
You start getting that thing out and mixing it, and you're in the wrong part of town. They're gonna throw you in the water and see if you float.
See if you're made of wood.
Well, does it work at all, or?
Oh yeah.
Why'd you answer so fast?
I was wondering why you.
I haven't rolled out of bed
That yeah.
in 6 months.
Wait, that sounds
Was that a problem before? Were you just rolling out of bed?
Put a rail on it.
Going to buy old bunk beds and still had the
that explains all the holes in your floor.
You say that like you've been at this house all the time going, why are all these holes in your floor?
Looks like somebody's just shooting it with them shotgun slugs all over his floor. It's been going on a while.
Speaking about
we were about to have an intervention about it.
Yeah.
Speaking about rolling out of bed.
Is this? Should we end the episode right now?
No. This is all right.
God.
So, one year at college,
You didn't start this one good.
I was sleeping over on
This
campus
is a terrible
one night.
start. This is going so bad.
He's like, no, let me finish.
Let me finish. I was in a room.
in college.
They had the beds bunked, but there wasn't a bed underneath. It was
The bed's bunked.
bunked.
I've
yeah.
never heard that as a verb.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever heard it as an adjective?
Yeah, bunk beds.
Have you heard it as a noun?
Yes, again, bunk beds.
Have you never used the word? Hey, I got bunked.
No. Why would I use that word? Why and ever would I say, hey, Holland, I got bunked yesterday?
Well, because you've never been bunked.
Thank God. I thank God for that every day. That's going to be on my new gratitudes I say every morning.
If you slide into a bunk bed,
Yeah, see, Michael wants to hear the rest of the story.
That's going to be in my new gratitudes I say every morning. I thank you, God, that I have not been bunked.
hey, quit cutting in on
Come
Holland's
on.
story.
Sorry.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So
Holland's over here trying to podcast.
they were bunked on either side of the room.
128 ounces in a gallon.
128. But
How many feet are in a mile?
5,280.
Two of Caleb's.
If Caleb would lay down end to end, there's 3 in a mile.
I'm not cutting into your story anymore. Anyways,
Okay, so-
you were in a room in college.
Yeah. So one of the roommates was gone. I was sleeping in his bunk.
So you was bunked.
Yeah. So I'm I'm sleeping now like 6 feet in the air. I'm not used to sleeping 6 feet in the air.
I'm sleeping 6 feet in the air.
I feel like this is gonna be a Creed joke.
I'm 6 feet from the edge. No, but so
Oh my God.
during the middle of the night, I have to pee. Right, I roll to get out of bed, and I'm just falling. There's nothing under me except for one of the other roommates that was sleeping in a futon right on top.
You guys have a baby together? What happened?
He got bunked.
He got bottom bunked.
I wonder what he's dreaming of about that.
And now he sees a bunk bed and says, I should call him.
All of the.
So, like-
wait, was there another person sleeping under the bunk? So they just heard.
So, first of all, they hear they hear me fall, and I'm like, ah!
Did he squeak?
And then then they hear him getting the wind knocked out of him.
So they know what Holland's finish noise is.
There's me screaming and him going.
Imagine waking up to that. And you look over, and Holland's just on top of this guy.
like, I'm leaving.
I mean, what's the dog doing?
They just huddled up and put the covers over their head.
God, dude, I'd walk out right then. I swear to, I would be like, I did not sign. My mom told me to go to the military. But,
Yeah.
I need some water.
I was going to say we should wrap this up, but I guess we should wait until our video guy comes back.
Oh man, my abs are hurting.
Yeah.
Too much laughing. This many days in a row.
So,
Yeah.
Nathan, got any dogs?
Got any dogs? Well, I got a cat that's about like a dog.
But do you got that dog in you?
Sometimes. Oh, was that a sound effect?
Yeah.
I thought that was Holland.
Actually, fun fact.
Oh, it was?
That's
I
me,
knew.
Dave, and Holland making the bark sound. We recorded that a year and a half ago.
How odd that Nathan could pick out my bark sound.
What kind of family dynamic do y'all have?
I've never heard Holland
He's
bark.
like, that's my uncle
Yeah,
barking.
but I can smell it. I can smell it.
That sounds like a sap's bark if I've ever heard one, by God.
I know what that is.
All right, but I think for real, though, that's a great time.
About our sponsor.
Because I think it's only downhill from here. We
No,
do
hold
have,
on. What are you going to say?
What about our sponsor?
Yeah. All right, hold
I
on.
thought Mike was going to go off
thought he's gonna drop
off
something
the
else.
reservation again.
I like to go something else.
All right, so I can say it's our first official sponsor.
You got a better can?
I'm really excited about this one.
Yeah,
It's all
actually, I do.
bent up.
Because it's used.
That's the ugliest can. You had a warped can.
Tastes so good.
Listen, it tastes so good you can't help but chew it to get it out faster.
That was with your teeth?
It wasn't mine; it was somebody's.
Oh,
Sorry.
Jesus.
He was thirsty.
Love
Needs some
Vile Yetis.
aluminum in his life.
Anyways, it's our first actual sponsor. I'm sure that the episode that we talked about this first time will come out before this one, but in case it don't, or in case you missed it, Lucky Energy. If you need an energy drink, there really isn't one better. We've been drinking these on podcast before they were a sponsor because we like them. And so now they're a sponsor, we can talk about them.
Yeah.
This flavor that I have in my hand is Bodacious Berry. There is a bunch like that one is Tropical Thrill. There's
Orange Drizzle, OG, and Red. I can't remember the red one.
Red Dynamite.
Yeah.
anyways, go to luckyenergy.com. You can Google them.
Bodacious Berry.
You got zero sugar, zero aftertaste, zero regrets. So find them on their website, order them.
And you got to read the story about the guy.
It is a great story. That's really what, after we liked them already, but then after all that, I had to look into it and read their story, and then that's why we really wanted to work with them. So there you go.
So get you some.
Get you some. LuckyBevCo.com. That's LuckyBevCo.com. Or just Google Lucky Energy. Can't miss it. All right. Nathan, I actually don't know if you have a lot of social media presence. So do you have any social media you want people to look you up on?
I mean, no, I don't have a lot. But
I don't have any. Leave them alone.
no.
He's like,
There's
leave
like
me,
a
leave me
hand-
alone, people.
Yeah, there's a handful of Nathan Millsaps, so you just type that in, and then you see big arms, and it's mine.
You see a guy that looks a lot like Superman,
I'll take
but
that.
way cooler.
Yeah, maybe. When I go to bed tonight, yeah, it's gonna be freezing.
Oh, that's not where I thought he was going.
Yeah, I was.
I took it off the rail.
I was like,
Anyways, you can find our discount codes in the description. You'll find our new sponsored information in the description. Also, make sure you check out our Etsy page for our Iron Palace merch. So until the next time, have an okay time.